Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Speaking with Ajani Bakari Talk Show. I'm your host, Ajani Bakari, as we go live every Monday night on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe, like, comment, share, hit the ring bell, let folks know about it because we go live every Monday night to tackle three hot topics. Tonight's three hot topics is the first one we're going to talk about Joe Biden testing positive again, right, which I find hilarious. And then we're going to also talk about the pastor that was robbed in New York in mid-service, and it was actually live on social media. So we're going to talk about that, the pastor that was robbed at his sermon, mid-sermon. And then we're going to also talk about the last topic, which is America becoming a socialist country, or is America becoming socialist? So that'll be our three topics for the show. We'll go live on my Facebook and also on my IG. We go live on there shortly, but once we get the show started, anything is fair game for everybody to come in and join in and talk about everything that we want to talk about when it comes up to the topics. But again, thanks for joining me on my YouTube channel, which is the best place to watch the show. And I also have an exclusive topic for you guys because we're going to talk about the $1.28 billion lottery ticket that somebody won the other day in Illinois. So we're going to get to that shortly. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for coming through every Monday night. Make sure you look out for all the other videos that I drop. And also check me out on Goat James Kingdom, which we go live every Sunday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, to talk about basketball. So we're going to get to the show shortly here. Let me set up my stuff for my IG accounts and my Facebook account. So you can catch me on Facebook as Ajani Bakari. All right. And then you could also catch me on IG for the show, which is speaking_with_Ajani_Bakari. And that's where you can get a lot of materials from the show. I also, put clips from the show there. So you can definitely check out all the material that I have available to you guys there on IG. IG is definitely a platform I love to be on, even though it's kind of slowing down, man. It seems like it's not one of the greatest platforms anymore as far as social media goes. But I still got my IG's account, so. Yeah, baby, this is how we do it, baby. Ghetto rig, real hip hop style. Make it work for ourselves. All right. So, yeah. So before we go ahead and get live on IG and on my Facebook, I wanted to talk about the $1 billion, $1.2 billion Mega Million lottery winner that happened the past couple of days. I think it was a couple of days ago, and the person who won it was a solo ticket in Illinois. Some people say Chicago. Who knows? Everybody associate Illinois or Illinois. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly with Chicago, but $1.28 billion lottery ticket that person hit. Now, this is the second highest ever for the Mega Millions. The first was 1.53 million. So somebody got 1.53 billion. So somebody got a $1.5 billion in that one. And that was back in 2018 or 17. That person got it. But the Mega Millions is a big lottery thing. It's in 45 states. It's also in DC. It's in the Virgin Islands and other territories of the United States. So it's a big lottery thing. And when you don't hit it, the prize just keeps going up and keeps going up. A lot of people wanted me to ask me about putting tickets. I don't play the lottery. I just don't play the lottery. My wife does though. She didn't play it this time, but these tickets only cost like $2. So this person basically spent $2 and got $1.2 billion. And the way it works is that you could either get the lump sum of the 1.2 or whatever the thing is and get taxed heavily for it, or you can take it in what they call annuity, which you can get it for a certain a certain time, a certain span. So for this one, it would be 30 years. The person declined the 30-year, and they took the the whole thing. So they're gonna get taxed a lot. And it got me thinking, man, that's a lot of money, man, to give somebody right there on the spot. We always hear rumors that people hit the lottery and they become broke 5 years after hitting the lottery. But I don't know, obviously there's not too many people who hit over $1 billion in the lottery, and your life instantly changes. So, I was really thinking about this, man, because I was wondering to myself, I was like, man, if I got this lottery, right? If I hit this lottery, what would I do? I mean, obviously your life's gonna change, right? But would you take the lump sum, or would you take the annuity? Would you take the 30-year payout, right? And that's a very big question to ask, because most people take the lump sum. Most people say, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to live 30 years. Let me get my money now. But when you take that money, off the top like that, it's a big time tax that you take. You take a big tax hit for it. So, I was trying to do the math on it. And if you do the math, right, let's just say they charge you like 65% on tax if you take the lump sum. And if you do that out of 1.28 billion dollars, if you take a tax hit of 65% of that, that's $832 million that they're going to take from you in taxes, which leaves you with about roughly 448. So you'll have about $450 million in your bank account set up for you, ready to go. Everybody right now would say, man, that's great. I'll take that any day, anytime, right? That's true, right? But then I thought about it. If you take the 30-year plan, right? If you take the 30-year plan, you get paid $42.6 million a year for the next 30 years of your life. Now that is great. And even if they tax you 50%, because obviously they're not going to tax you the same as $1 billion, but let's just say they tax you at 50%, you're really going to make $21 million, $21.3 million per year, which actually comes out to $639 million in the 30-year span. So if you take the $30 million, you actually have more money. But we always talk about, right, the steady inflation of the economy, the way capitalism works. 30 years from now, what I'm saying, $600 million is probably not going to be $600 million. But I would still like to think 30 years from now, $600 million is still a lot of money to have. And plus, all you can do with that money, because you can invest that money could recoup, and you could actually get yourself some tax breaks so that you actually don't even probably have to pay 50% in taxes. You probably could pay less. You can start up some foundations and do charity and do all kind of work and deduct all kind of money. But that's some big money to get, man. $1.2 million. I mean, $2 billion. I can't even say it every time. $1 billion. Somebody got $1 billion by a $2 ticket that they put in and got some lucky numbers. Man, this is what they say about capitalism, man. It makes it great, But if you're not actually disciplined and smart, and hopefully that person is wise, but their life has changed for the good and the bad, because more money comes more problems. Everybody knows that. Biggie said that a long time ago, and it's facts. That person right there got family members, relatives. Everybody's trying to figure out how they can get in touch with that individual, Yeah, man, the lottery is something serious, man. Money will change folks for sure. What's good? I see what's good. Peace and blessings. Rose Sakpase, welcome. Thank you for joining. As you know, as we go live every Monday night, we talking about, the big lottery hitter, man. I mean, that's a big jackpot, man. I say congrats to the individual. I wish him the best. If I ever got that kind of lotto, that kind of money, obviously, if I got over $100 million, I'm not going to work anymore. My job can kiss my behind. That's a fact. I wouldn't do it for anything less, but for that, yeah, I would. I think I would be all right with that. I think I would be able to survive if I had over $100 million. But what would I do, for family members and friends? That would be a very, I've thought about this before. I definitely would disappear for a good month, and nobody would know where I am. And I would be organizing my finances and organizing everything and setting up a situation to put myself good. Because I know I couldn't go just back into my normal life after getting hit with $400 million in my bank account. No way. There is no way. I have so many friends all of a sudden. My phone will be ringing off the hook. But that's the truth, man. You know, somebody got hit with the lottery, and like I said, peace to them and blessings to them. It's big time money, man. Big time money, man. Rose says, I still would work for a year, then buy that company. Well, you must love your job enough to buy the company. I'm not buying my job's company. But I will definitely create some businesses. I would definitely create some foundations and some stuff that I would love to do. They would probably have to assassinate me, boy, because if I had that kind of money, I would do some real good work for the people. Wouldn't even be looking for a profit. I wouldn't even be looking for profit. They would hate me. I would be like, what they call that, new money. Yeah, I would be new money. I would be exactly what they thought. New money, baby. New money. So, but let's go ahead and get live on my IG and Facebook so we can get the show started. All right. So officially we live on my IG and on my Facebook. So I'd like to say thank you again. Welcome for joining me. This is Speaking with Ajani Bakari Talk Show. I'm your host, Ajani Bakari. We go live every Monday night on my YouTube channel. We also live on my Facebook, and then we are live on my IG. We go live every Monday night to tackle 3 hot topics. I just got a chance to talk to my YouTube subscribers about the $1.28 billion lottery winner from Illinois. That's a big change, life changer for that individual. You should catch my YouTube to go ahead and listen to that. But we're gonna let some folks from my Facebook and IG come along and get in so they can enter the conversation. So we're gonna talk about tonight. The first topic we're gonna discuss is Joe Biden testing positive again. The man caught the cough virus, and now he's back in quarantine and isolated. And I find it funny. So we're gonna talk about that because the last 2 years, that was the major political topic in our lives. Somehow it disappeared, but the president seems to still be in trouble with this particular illness. And then we're going to talk about the pastor that was robbed in mid-church sermon. All right, we're going to discuss that as a pastor in New York that got robbed mid-church, mid-sermon. I mean, literally live on his IG or on his social media account. He was doing his sermon on a Sunday, and some dudes walked up in there and robbed him and his wife. And so we're going to discuss that. And then we're going to, the last topic, which is always, like I said, my personal topic, is America becoming socialist? I got some information about some things that I found out going on between, certain states and the United States government and the people. So we're going to discuss that. So like I said, we let some folks come in on the IG and on the Facebook. You guys can always subscribe, like, comment, share, hit the ring bell. Always come through on a Monday night for you guys. I'm also live every Sunday on Goat James Kingdom, which is a basketball podcast that I have with another co-host of mine. But this is what we do, baby. It's a social media world. Thank you for joining me every day. Thank you. That's right. We're gonna get to this shortly here as I send out my notifications to folks. Let them know. Yeah, man. Thanks so much, folks, for always following, subscribing, supporting. Like I said, the topics y'all want to talk about, we could always talk about. Bring it up to me, send it to me in the DM, send it to me, whatever. Tag me, let me know. We could discuss anything. I like to have good conversations, and I like to learn myself. I don't mind teaching. I don't mind being someone providing information, but I also like to have information. So, it's always a blessing to have folks, engage in conversations about good things. So, but let's get the show rolling, right? Because we want to get to it. Let's get to it. All right. So we have Joe Biden, all right, who has tested positive for COVID-19 again. This is the second time within the last couple of weeks that he has tested positive for COVID. He actually tested positive a few weeks ago and had to quarantine, and then he went a couple of days where he tested negative, and he was able actually to get out of quarantine. And supposedly like the next day out of quarantine, he tested positive again. Boom, bap. Now he's back in quarantine. So now the president of the United States can't be around nobody. He is in quarantine. And, it's a shock because he is fully vaccinated. He has booster shots and everything. And the virus is a virus that has been killing people of his age group. And you know, the 80% of the people who have passed away from COVID are above 65 years old. So, you know, obviously the president is old. He's in his 70s, I believe. So, you know, he's in danger. And then they got to take precautions with him. But, you know, I find it weird because I'm in Florida and we don't have no more COVID restrictions, no more COVID. Like the pandemic literally ended in December for us. Like everybody got sick in December. Everybody partied for, you know, for the New Year's, who got a chance to party, and we all entered 2022 like boom boom, that's it. Like no more COVID. You know, I literally at work, places I go. In fact, I went to go get gas the other day, and somebody was like literally right behind me standing in line, and I looked back like, bro, get back, like it's 6 feet, bro. You're not even supposed to be this close. So, you know, this whole year, it's really been weird when it comes to the idea of the pandemic, because we are supposedly out of a pandemic or in a pandemic. I don't know. I've had several shows about this. I still don't know what it is. This thing has been the most confusing thing of my life for the last 2 years. I don't know what to say about COVID, but the president got COVID, and he's still saying that, you know what, we got to watch out. We still got to get tested. And, you know, now the monkeypox is supposedly something that's causing concern, because New York State Health came out with a warning about monkeypox in the state of New York, in the city of New York, and then California and San Francisco did the same thing. So now we're seeing it. I know here in Miami-Dade County and Broward County, there are cases of it popping up left and right. And, you know, there's supposed to be a vaccine for that. I don't even know how you have a vaccine for that, but people are being thrust, you know, on the internet about all of this information. Everything is crazy. So, you know, when we think about COVID-19 and the president catching COVID-19 and him having to deal with it, it's kind of crazy. It's you know, we're in the middle of summertime. You know, this is where you're not supposed to get such things as an influenza or any kind of you know, virus such as a COVID. But, you know, obviously COVID is a special virus. It's always been a special virus. And, you know, the president has to watch out because he is in that age group where that virus affects people the most. It is fatal for people in his demographic. But he says he's fine. He's asymptomatic. He don't have nothing. He's not feeling bad. He's chilling. I mean, you know, he's the president of the United States. He's well taken care of. You know, he's been wearing his masks. He's been doing all the things that they've been telling us to do for the last 2 years, and for some reason, COVID keeps kicking his ass. You know, I don't know what to say about that, man. I just find it funny that he is, you know, quarantined again. You know, especially at a time like now where Trump is out and talking shit the way Trump is talking shit, and he can't even get out and talk. He can't, you know, he can't even ride a bike. I mean, you know, this is hilarious, man. You guys literally voted a guy that is completely incompetent into your powers of your United States. Let me see what y'all folks talk about here. Peace. Pastor got robbed on Sunday morning. Lord have mercy. Yes, the pastor got robbed. Peace. What's good, Delu? I see you there, Tata. Christine Sakbase. Yeah, man. So, you know, Joe Biden got COVID. He's supposedly going to be okay. He's going to quarantine, keep getting tested. He keeps telling everybody to go get tested. I don't know where you go get tested at. I'm good. I have been, you know, I identify as someone who's been protected by the Lord. By the Lord. Talking about that, the Lord. We are going to move on to the real topic that I wanted to discuss, which is a pastor in Brooklyn, New York, who got robbed mid-sermon. I mean, literally mid-sermon. This guy was giving he was preaching on a Sunday afternoon, and a bunch of dudes walked up in there and put him and everybody to the ground and had their pockets like rabbit ears. It's like Biggie would say. I mean, this is some real Brooklyn shit, man. People in Brooklyn are wild, bro. Brooklyn is wild, but this is the tick, right? This is the tick. This pastor is known for being flashy, okay? As an example, he posts a lot of pictures and videos on TikTok and IG, and he has Facebook accounts, and you know, he's seen to be driving in a Rolls Royce and a lot of jewelry and wearing, you know, designer clothes, Gucci, Fendi, Christian Dior. Him and his wife, I mean, living the luxury life in New York City now, in Brooklyn now, okay? But the name of this pastor is Bishop Lamar Miller Whitehead. All right, this man is basically a Brooklyn preacher. He is a certified New York chaplain. He is a marriage and divorce officiant. And he started a church called the Leadership of Tomorrow's Ministry in Brooklyn, New York in 2013. So he's a true pastor. He's a true minister of the Lord. He's a man of God. Okay, and he has parishioners, he has a church, and he has a lot of money. And he flashes that he has a lot of money. And obviously he flashes it enough to where people felt like, you know what? You can get God. It's that real. You can get God. Holler back at the Lord. He'll forgive me. He'll forgive me. But he is literally saying that they stole $1 million worth of jewelry from him and his wife during this robbery. He said nobody in his parishioners were hurt, that the guys didn't hurt anybody there. They didn't take nothing from the church members. It was just his wife and him who got robbed. Now, if you look at the video on the internet, you only see him. You don't see nothing else. You do see a couple of the robbers passing by on the camera, but you don't really see the church. You don't really see what's going on. But he's got some news and some attention off of this. He's actually had some attention recently because in June he tried to negotiate with a gunman in a subway in New York, and so he got a little bit of press for that. And the mayor of New York is fond of him because the mayor of New York actually was the Brooklyn borough president at one point. So he's familiar with this guy, Bishop Whitehead. But let me give y'all... I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Listen, let me give y'all the list of items that were robbed from this man. I'm going to give you the list of items. All right. First of all, they stole a $75,000 Rolex. All right. They took a $75,000 Cavalier watch, which is probably his wife's watch. Then they took a $25,000 Episcopal ruby ring. Now, again, Episcopal ruby ring. That's what he titled it as. They took another $25,000 Episcopal diamond ring. They took $25,000 earrings. They took a $20,000 Episcopal diamond cross. They took a $20,000 Episcopal ring. They took a $20,000 Episcopal cross, and then they took a $10,000 Episcopal gold cross, all equaling up to a total of about $1.2 million in jewelry robbed. Bruh, this smells like a scam. If I don't know scamming, listen, I'm a Zoe from Miami. I know some scamming, man. This sounds like a scam and a half. Off the top, the list, the items that he named, those are not his items. Those belong to the church. That's what they belong to. They belong to the church. When he puts Episcopal ruby ring, if you go look up the definition of Episcopal, it's related to the church. It belongs to the church. It is the ring belongs to the church. The cross, all the jewels, all the Fendi, the Rolls Royce, all these items belong to the church. It does not belong to them. They actually write all of this off as tax write-off as a church. And this is the thing. I guarantee you he has insurance on it. And not only does he have insurance, this man I should have been a preacher. My whole life, my family told me I was supposed to be a preacher, that I was going to be a preacher. I must have the skills for it, but I'm definitely not a preacher because I'm a righteous man. I couldn't see myself being a preacher. Okay, let me... Peace, dog. What's good? Okay. Let me see. All right, baby, what you got going on? Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see what people are saying here. All right, COVID in Florida. DeSantis don't play with that. That's right, yo. All right, Episcopal. Is that how you say it? Episcopal. ESPISCOPAL. Episcopal. Listen, my big African lips can't say these European words, man. No, listen. Is that how you say it? Episcopal. Listen, man, it don't matter. It belonged to the church. This man had over $1 million worth of jewelry that he basically bought with his parishioners' tithes. Okay, this man is living a baller's life. And this is the sad thing, because there are some good preachers out there. There are some real preachers who do good for their community, who are there for their people. But man, it doesn't look good for the church. It doesn't look good. You guys should go see this man. This man looks like, how can I describe this man? I don't know how to describe him. He just looks like bro, he just looks like somebody that's scamming you. Like he just looks like a scammer in this whole scenario. And I wouldn't be surprised he set this whole thing up. That you know what I'm saying, that he did all of this. I wouldn't be surprised, because I guarantee you right now, he's probably going to gain a lot of following from people who have good, hard, faith in being, Christians. And he's in the middle of Brooklyn. He seems like he's a good spoken man, as far as, he's very, very charismatic. He knows how to talk to the people. But he like I said, he said he got robbed for $1 million, and he has wait. Here's the real kicker. He got a $50,000 reward for anybody who helps capture these suspects. Okay, this is what we talking about, man. This is the pastor that got robbed in a Brooklyn church. I mean, you guys should go see this brother, man. This guy. I mean, I've seen several photos and videos of him, just showing his life. He lives a lavish lifestyle. I'm not surprised somebody said, man, you know what? He could run that. He can run that. But I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if he actually put all of this, set up for himself. He has all of this insured, right, under the church. I don't know what to say, man. Oh my God, man. He looks like a rapper. Yes, he looks like a rapper, man. He looks like a rapper, man. Oh my God. If he makes it to $1 million, I'll help him. If he makes it $1 million, you'll help him. Well, look, if hey, $50,000. First of all, $50,000 is two of those rings, the Episcopal ruby ring and the diamond ring alone. Okay, so you can get those two things back. He'll be very pleased, I guess. But now, the police is taking this real. Don't get this wrong. I'm laughing about this. The NYPD is actually serious about this. This is an actual crime. Somebody did get robbed. These dudes are walking around with this man's jewels and trying to pawn it. And they, or I guess hack it, whatever they got to do to get the money from it. They got over $1 million worth of jewels, man. They might even just send him a picture of it and be like, yo, just give me $100K and end it, man. End it, man. Do it like an e-sale in the store. I sell out a coat for $150,000. Oh my God, that is hilarious. So it is hilarious, man. It is completely hilarious. Oh, Mr. Bill Manning, what's good? Thanks for joining me. This is Speaking with Ajani Bakari Talk Show. I go live every Monday night on my YouTube. I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on IG. I'm definitely having a blast. Let me see what you got to say over here. Okay. This is the congregation's money while half of their lights are off and water and bill. Exactly. I was trying to find out where the church is in Brooklyn. I'm not familiar with Brooklyn. I do know Brooklyn has a couple of good parts, I guess, a good stable suburb areas in Brooklyn. But from my understanding, man, Brooklyn is a rough place to live. Even when I was in New York, and I knew people from New York, going to Brooklyn was a serious, like if you went to Brooklyn, you had to know somebody. You couldn't just be in Brooklyn. Like nobody could just go to Brooklyn to be in Brooklyn. That's not like how it works when it comes to New York lifestyle. So, he got, they got him. This happened a few days ago. I think it happened last Sunday. So, again, it's completely hilarious to me because it seems like a scam. He looks like a scammer. God strike me dead if I'm wrong. Please don't. Please don't. Lord, oh my God. Oh man. I'm telling you, man, this is great, man. This is great. I'm telling you, this is great. All right, so all right. Delu says, where's the GoFundMe? He probably gonna create a GoFundMe. Help them. I mean, listen, the man, he's had his church for a while. He's been doing this thing for a while, but he's been bringing the attention to himself in the wrong way. But this is one thing I gotta say. I do remember Muhammad Ali talking about Elijah Muhammad once, and they were trying to, obviously break Muhammad Ali down and talk bad about Elijah Muhammad, but it didn't work. And he was posed the question about, Elijah Muhammad's lifestyle. And Elijah Muhammad obviously is the leader of the Nation of Islam. He is the second coming of Christ to them. And, he has a very strong following. He has basically the strongest black following outside of Christian, secular demographics. But to make a long story short, Muhammad Ali stated that for him to be able to reach the people the way he wants to reach the people, and the reason that he is so advocate to speak for the Nation of Islam as is, because he wants to show the people that being a part of God's favor, this is what you have. So he had to show people that he has a diamond, he had diamond rings and nice watches and nice clothes and drives a nice car and lives in a nice house, because people really don't respect you if you don't have these things. People don't really see any reason to put you above them if you don't show that you have these things. So it's almost like these people have to actually have more than their followers for them to even have their followers, which is weird because Christ didn't have to do that. But again, we can't compare these people to Christ. But that was the thing that he was breaking it down to. And it even works like that in business. Forget even if we talk about religion. Michael Blackson, which is a comedian, stated this when he was on Shannon Sharp's show recently, and he's talked about how if he was going to a business meeting and he went in there in regular clothes and driving a Honda or driving a Camry and was like, yo, I want $150,000 for a show, he's like, they probably wouldn't give him the money. But if he shows up in there in a Gucci suit and a Fendi suit, and he's in a Rolls Royce and he's in a nice car and he has on a Rolex and diamonds and he has nice glasses, and he says, yo, you need to give me $200,000, the person's going to think, okay, he's worth the $200,000 to book him for a gig. So the persona is necessary for a lot of these things. For you to become, I guess, a good leader, people have to have a reason to follow you, and people don't follow you if you don't have that character, that machismo is what most people would say. So what, I've heard people say this before, the pastor has this because he's in God's favor. The minister has this because he's in God's favor and he does right for the people. He lives right. He does right. It all comes. That's a part of actually being a righteous and a man of God. So we can say that, we can leave it there, but I still find it funny. All right, so we're gonna get on to the last topic, all right, which is American socialism, right? Is America becoming socialist? Because we come to find out that these last few years, because of the pandemic, that the government has been handing out money. We've had several stimulus packages. The government has bailed out companies. There's a lot of things the government has been doing recently that has seemed like, hey, this is a little bit socialist. And I remember when the elections was going on over a year ago, about a year and a half ago, there were some people down here, because again, I am from Miami, and we have a large Cuban-based population down here, and they are very, very Republican. They're very, very conservative, and they were pro-Trump. And one of their main reasons they were pro-Trump was because they feel the Democrats, and especially Joe Biden and Obama and them, are socialists. And they'll tell you, we come from a socialist country. We're Cubans. We know what we're talking about. We lived it. So they'll argue till they turn as red as a tomato about that. And they used to always say that America is becoming socialist because of the Democrats. And I always hear stuff, and I never really dismiss things or nothing like that. So, but come to think about it, a lot of the stuff that the Democrats do does seem to be a little bit on the socialism side, more than the Republicans and the conservatives are. But let's talk about this, right? Because there is a handout being done by several states to people this year, starting like now. It's already happening now. They're giving out checks, and they're giving out money like hotcakes. Now, all of this money is coming from COVID. Okay, this is the COVID bill that was passed from the president over a year ago. This was the get everybody back to work thing. This was the COVID relief plan, all of this stuff, pandemic relief plan. This was the I think it was like a something trillion dollar bill that this guy got approved last year. So all of these states got all this extra money, right? So as an example, Florida has some extra money. So what did DeSantis say he's going to do? He's going to give out $450 per child to over 60,000 families in the state of Florida, because he has that extra cash. And he's just going to give it to you. It's just going to be direct deposit. Obviously, if you filed child, you should be expecting $450 if it hasn't been sent to you yet. But you have to be in a certain, obviously, income, right? But there's other states doing it, right? As an example, Cali is doing it. Cali's actually giving out $1,050 to over 50% of their residents. Okay, but they're doing it by a tier system. They're breaking it down by 3-tier system. on how the people can get that money and who can get that money. Colorado is giving out a $750 rebate to single people, right? So they're going to get some money back during their taxes and filing their taxes. And also, it's actually money being sent to them. They're getting a check. And if you file jointly, it's $1,500. In Delaware, they're giving out $300 per child and $600 for joint married people. We talked about Florida. Georgia's also doing something similar to that. Georgia's giving out a tax refund where they're giving you $250 per child, $500 for jointly, and they're giving $375 for head of household. Hawaii jumped in and they're giving out $300 to anybody who made less than $100,000 last year, up to $200,000 for couples, right? And then anybody who made over $100,000 or over $200,000 a couple is going to get $100. Hawaii, I heard Hawaii is expensive to live, so I don't even know if $100, $300 could do anything for them. Illinois, talk about Illinois. The guy who just won the lottery, or the person who won the lottery from over there, they're suspending taxes for groceries, gas, property tax as of July. So as of July, all of those taxes don't exist in the state of Illinois. You can basically purchase gas without taxes. You can purchase food without taxes. And your property taxes will be cut in half because you don't have to worry about July all the way to whenever the end of the year is for your taxes. Indiana has $125 they're giving out to single people, $250 for joint people. Maine is giving out $850 to over 850,000 residents. We have Massachusetts giving out $500,000 to over 300,000 people in their state that are considered low income. New Jersey's giving out $500. They're giving out $500 checks to over 1 million people. Wow. See, I mean, this is a lot of stuff to talk about, man. See how much we talking about all these states, how much money they're giving out, and they're just giving it out for people for filing your taxes. This is what they say supposedly socialism is about, right? Just giving out money, I guess, or giving people stuff for no reason, like people not earning it, especially when it comes to money. I can see, I mean, most of these states that I'm naming, I believe are blue states. Some of them aren't. I know Georgia and Florida are red states. Indianapolis, I believe, is a red state. But you got New York. New York is cutting property taxes rebate. They're giving out for 2.5 million homeowners. New Mexico is giving out $250 to anybody who made less than $75K, and they're giving out $500 to anybody who made less than $150K as a joint a couple or a jointly filed individual. Virginia's giving out $250 for single, giving out $500 for jointly filed individuals. Oregon's giving out $600 to over 250,000 low-income people. Pennsylvania's giving out $650 as a part of a property tax and rent rebate, and that one also goes by income. So these are all the things that are happening because of the Democratic administration we have, by the bills that are being passed. These were the bills that, you remember, these were the bills that the Republicans kept shoving back and was like, no, we're not signing this. You got to put more money for this, or put money here, or allocate money there, or why is this money being put here? But the Democrats pushed it and pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. So are we really going socialist? Are we really out here paying tax dollars, just to give out free money to people because they're American citizens, helping people out? Or is this something that is necessary for the economy? Who knows? Because if these people can't really afford anything, right? Because some of this stuff is really nothing. I mean, yeah, it's nice to get a couple of $100 added to your bank for nothing, but the way the inflation don't went up, this is nothing. This is nothing. That's 1 week worth of grocery, most of this stuff, depending on what state you in. Oh man, let me see here. We got some talkers here on IG. Yeah, man. Oh my God, man. Ooh, they are really talking. Yeah, man. So that's the key thing about this country, is that it's predicated on, like I told y'all, on the idea of you can have the extreme wealth because you're going to have extreme poverty. It all goes one and the same. So if you're basically eradicating poverty, you're eradicating wealth. And that's why they don't want to do that. That's why you have to supposedly do it by your own. Pull your own bootstraps up and strap them up and get yourself going. You can't be sitting around here begging for handouts. You gotta put your foot forward. You gotta do the right thing. We talked about this with the American Dream last week, 2 weeks ago. But America is a weird country. I mean, it's weird, man. I've gone through different phases with this country in my life, man. Like I said, I'm 41 years old, and this country every 10 years just throws a curveball at me. And right now, it's a curveball. I don't know what to say about this administration. I don't know what to say about the upcoming future of this country. It is in shambles. And I warned y'all about Joe Biden. Nobody listened. Nobody listened. Y'all swore Trump was the worst thing ever. And now look at you. Now look at you. Y'all sitting here thinking you can't even, at least with Trump, you can get somebody that can listen to you. This man can't even listen to you. Giovanni, what's good, man? Yo, that is crazy. How does that affect long term? That's a great question. I don't know what you're asking. So again, all of these states are giving out free checks, free money that was basically signed over to them by the United States government, passed by the Biden administration to help get the country back on its feet. Now, mind you, this had nothing to do with the inflation. This bill was signed well before the inflation. So the money that is left over, and this is why actually DeSantis decided to give out this money, because he's starting to see that, damn, this inflation is kicking people ass. He saw that there was extra funds because of this particular bill that was passed. So he said, you know what? I got this money. I'm going to help out. 60,000 families are going to be eligible for this. We'll give them $450 per child. And, we'll hopefully that will help out, with the gas prices going up, food prices going up. The inflation is kicking ass. School is about to start. So, I just was going school shopping for my kids recently. The price of everything is still going up. So, the country is definitely at a tilting point, if we want to say that. And we don't know if it's going to tilt towards good or tilt towards actually getting worse. But, like I tell folks, prepare yourself. Always prepare yourself. It doesn't hurt to be safe. It doesn't hurt to be smart and put away some food, to last you several months if need be, to put away money that can last you 2 or 3 months, where if you don't have a job, you can pay your rent and your bills for the next 2 or 3 months. If you can do more than all of that, do more. If you can do it, again, but if you want to enjoy life too. But don't be the one that's left out thinking, damn, man, I should have, or I could have, or why I didn't, if that time ever comes. And if it never comes, and guess what? Life still goes on and everything is grand. You know what I mean? So, but, I believe this country has always been a fascist country. I don't know about socialism or communism, although I do believe a form of Nazism came into this country after World War II. Beyond just the immigrants or the people that were running away from the Nazis in Germany of that time, talking about actually real Nazis, people from the German government of that time actually being a part of this government and helping out this government design different plans and policies for the future. So, America's always going to be a country that's about money, about making the richer, and we'll see if all this money being spent out to everybody will come to us in the long run. But obviously, our grandkids are probably going to have to foot the bill. But for now, these are the different states, and there was more states. These are just the ones that I wanted to bring up. But that's what it is. America is definitely, again, it's the Democrats are in charge, and the way it's working, it looked like we're going to get a Republican president coming the next election. I don't vote, and I don't care to, so don't ask me. So anyways, y'all, thanks for joining me. It was a great show. I appreciate you guys taking your time to listen to me. Again, I go live every Monday night on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe. It's Ajani Bakari. You can also go ahead and follow me on my Facebook as Ajani Bakari. You can go on IG with speaking _with _Ajani _Bakari. That's where you can find all the material for my show. We go live next Monday night. I'll have 3 more topics for you. So you guys have a beautiful Monday night. Stay blessed, stay beautiful, and I'll see y'all next week.